Firebird, thank you for a $5 Canadian super chat. I'm looking to make a longboard chase drone with long-range potential. Currently have all the analog parts. What would you recommend? You want to chase longboarders with long-range potential. How far are the longboarders going to go? How long range do you need? If you have old analog video parts, that could be okay. Like if you have an old flight controller from 5 years ago, I would question whether you should build with it. But if you have a video transmitter from 5 years ago, I mean, it could get the job done depending on its output power. I would really need to know more about what you mean by long range. Black Jungle says they go mountain and highways long sometimes. Yeah, but if you've got a longboarder going down a mountain, will the pilot be... If they go around a corner, now the pilot can't see it, is going to lose video. So how far away, unless we're like longboarding down a desert or something, where, you know, I can imagine a lot of scenarios where the longboarder causes you to fail safe if you're trying to follow him, if you get too far away. So how long is long, I guess is the question. Less than 10 kilometers. Well, that's still pretty far. I think we need to refine your requirements. I mean, there's a big difference in 2 kilometers versus 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers is way harder to do than 2 kilometers, especially if you're at ground vehicles. I'm sorry, not ground vehicles, at ground level. There's this comment comes in from Aber the Ham, who says most longboarders use chase vehicles. So if the assumption is that you're going to be in a chase vehicle following the longboarder, then you don't need extreme long range. And that's going to really simplify your build. When you say you have old analog parts, you mean video? Are you building a quad? I mean, I think the thing to do, if you're chasing a person with a potential that you're going to hit the person, I think you should think hard about building like a 3-inch or a 3.5-inch Cinewhoop, because the prop guards will help protect the person a little bit. If you're going to fly open prop around a person, you have to be real damn confident in your piloting. I want to say, people are talking about TPU inserts. I want to say for those... hold on. Let me find unthreaded spacers. So I bought these unthreaded spacers, aluminum unthreaded spacers, 4.5 millimeter OD. The reason people want these, can I just find this? The reason people want these is that the screw crushes the TPU of the GoPro mount and then it rips through. And that happens even if you're using washers. So what these do is, these go, here we go. Yeah, give me those. These go inside the TPU so that the screw presses down on the metal and doesn't crush the TPU and securely presses against the carbon. And if you can't find those fancy, expensive milled countersunk ones, just don't use countersunk screws. I've been using these for, well, when did I order this? September 2022. I've been using these, and if you don't use countersunk screws, which is kind of a vanity thing, you don't really need them, then you could just buy these. You're going to need to size up the holes on your GoPro mount, but that will get the job done. And it's not some exotic piece that you have to pay extra for. Oz's Builds and Adventures, thank you for $5 New Zealand. Can you use the goggles 2 and the V2 goggles in audience mode together to watch a drone flying? Yes, if you're using the O3 air unit. If you're using a Vista, you cannot. The DJI compatibility matrix gets even more complicated. Car Guy for Life asks, ever flown into poison ivy? Any advice? I'm pretty sure I turtle moded in some the other day. The quad is sitting up in my closet. So the oil that causes you to break out can be transferred from surface to surface. If you turtle moded in some poison ivy, then your quad is probably covered in that oil. So I would be careful about touching it. But if you just leave it out in the sun for a couple days, the oil will break down. And the sun will break the oil down, and it'll be safe again. It would be my thought. Alcohol can clean it off, but that would kind of be a pain in the ass. Nazar, thank you for a $5 super chat. 1900 kV on my 6S RPM, then 8S. Was worried about flight time, so I thought 1350 is even better. You run 8S HV, it's even more RPM. No GoPro will help? I mean, I think you should go for it. It's just what you're looking for. When I built 8S, I wanted ridiculous RPM that was going to make me shit my pants. If you want, but the quad is basically unflyable above 50% throttle. So, you know, that's not what everybody wants. Thank you, Ta Token, for a $10 super chat. We're caught up. Let me make sure. Ta Token. Ta Token wants to know, I love my Darwin FPV Cinewhoop. What would you suggest next as a cruiser or park flyer that flies a bit more aggressively in the 3-inch category? In the 3-inch category, I would get something like the Darwin FPV Baby Ape or the Tiny Ape, whatever their 3.5 inch is. Yeah. It's going to be a little more aggressive than a Cinewhoop. I think it's the Tiny Ape is their 3.5 inch. Yeah. That's where I would go. If you're looking for a 3-inch. If you really want to, build a tiny trainer, but that's a little bit of a commitment. What's better, the Pavo Pico or the Mobula 8? La, 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 la. No comment. I think they're both pretty good. I thought they were both pretty good. People have reported problems with vibrations on the Pavo Pico. I didn't have that problem. Mine was fine. And I've watched some other reviews of the Pavo Pico, and some people have said, oh, the vibrations were terrible. I think Mads Tech had a lot of problems with vibrations on his. Mine was fine. I don't know what the difference is. But I think I would personally... That's tough. I think the Pavo Pico flew a little bit better. But I think the Mobula 8 was a little more durable. I would wait because Flywoo has a naked O3 coming out. And I feel like that's going to be even better. That's what I would say. Between those two, I think I liked the Pavo Pico better, but I think that I might like living with the Mobula 8 better. Because the Pavo Pico has a few things about the way it's built that I think are going to compromise durability. And if I was going to crash it, I would definitely, I think I'd want the Mobula. And I've heard of people having burnt flight controllers on the Pavo. Although I didn't have a problem. I didn't have that problem. Of course, my Pavo was borrowed and I sent it back to its owner.